Good evening, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Cambodia Global Dialogue of Southeast Asia TV. Tonight, I'm back, to something which I like, which is the ASEAN Economic Community. Something that will come very fast in 2015. So I believe that we have to do a lot more of awareness on this upcoming major economic integration. And I think the more I could pull speakers from different professional fields to come and share their perspective on how Cambodia will fare when we enter the ASEAN Economic Community, what sort of challenge we're facing, not just as a macroeconomic challenge, but more on the sectoral issue, because at the end of the day, competitiveness is not just about a country competing with another country, it's about a sector competing with another sector, it's about an industry competing with another industry, and ultimately the company itself will have to compete, and at the very micro level, the person, the individual, the professional, the lawyer, the accountant will have to compete with the other professional in other country. Tonight I have, as always, great pleasure to have a long time friend of mine, Fernando Senaka Fernando.
Senaka Fernando.
Yes. Who is now the president of the ACCA. I'll let him explain what this acronym is all about. But we're going to have a nice discussion on the status, the situation of the accounting and the auditing profession, and where are we now, how do we, I would say, position ourselves, are we ready, to compete, and if we are not, what are the steps, what are the suggestions we can move forward in the next couple of years to get that sector, that profession up to speed, up to par, in a competitive mode with the region. So my good friend, Senaka, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Let's demystify a bit this acronym, because I want to get this out of the way. You are the head, the country head of ACCA. What is ACCA?
ACCA stands for the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants.
Yes.
It's a global body for professional accountants, which is not country specific.
Yes.
And it was founded in 1904 in the UK.
That was before I was born.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was founded by a gentleman called...
I feel young.
Arthur Priddle.
Okay.
Currently, ACCA has 426,000 students and 162,000 members and 428,000 students in 173 countries.
500,000 students. That's not so bad.
And our target is by 2020 to have 1 million members and students. So that's what we are trying to achieve. And we have 89 officers around the world, and Cambodia is one of those 89 officers. So up to now we have 162,000 members and 428,000 students globally.
Yes.
To put it into Cambodian perspective, we have almost 100 Cambodian members, which means Cambodians who have qualified, which is equivalent and par with someone in the UK or Australia, doesn't matter.
Already
almost 100, and we have almost 2,700 students who are pursuing the qualification.
My God.
So in the next 4 to 5 years time, we will have around 500 to 1,000 members, provided these 2,000 people qualify and pass the
exam. And you yourself, you are an auditor?
I started my career as an auditor way back in 1988 with Ernst & Winnie.
Yes.
And I'm not an ACCA member, but I'm a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka.
Okay.
And also a member of the local body.
Yes.
The Kampuchea Institute of Certified Public Accountants and Auditors.
But to put in a bit in comparative mode, right? Because I'm educated in the US, before, so over there we use the word chartered accountant, right?
Yeah.
CPA.
Yeah, CPA. That's right.
And in the UK, in Australia, whatever, we use what?
Yeah. I think in the US and in the Philippines and in Japan, it's called Certified Public Accountant.
Yes, CPA,
Yeah. And in Cambodia also, the local body, once you become a member, you become a CPA.
A CPA, yes.
Yeah. And with ACCA, that's called a Chartered Accountant.
Chartered Accountant. Yeah. It's the same thing, no?
It's the same thing. I mean, you study this almost similar subject.
Yes.
And it's basically built around the Chartered Accountancy qualification.
Yes. So these two sort of like terminology in a professional context is like, okay, if I'm a CPA, I can work with Ernst & Young or PricewaterhouseCoopers,
Yeah.
and so is your chartered.
Yeah, no, the good thing with the ACCA qualification is
Yes.
it's a global body.
It's a global
Yeah,
body.
which means you can work in any country because you have the same equal standing once you're ACCA member.
Okay.
But to just to give you a different angle of the chartered accounting, I mean,
Yes.
because since I'm a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka,
Yes.
this is part of the Commonwealth group.
Ah.
So let's say if I want to go and practice the profession in Malaysia,
Yes.
I will have to go and do the law and the tax paper,
Yes.
and become a member of the Malaysian Institute.
Okay.
A Malaysian coming to Sri Lanka will have to do the same thing.
Okay.
A guy who is a chartered accountant in the UK,
Yes.
if he wants to, this is only for practicing the profession.
Only for practicing.
Yeah,
the
which
profession.
means to work for an accounting firm,
Okay,
to be an auditor and to sign off on
Yes, to
the
sign
audit
off.
reports.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
But if you want to work as a finance manager, head of finance, doesn't matter. Then you don't need to be a member.
And that's where
That's where the ACCA has the advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the work, not all documentation need to be certified
Yeah.
or signed off, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, although you're ACCA member, I mean, certain country regulations have different requirements.
Yes, yes.
Like for example, in Cambodia, from 2014, you have to be a Cambodian to sign an audit report.
Okay.
But
Okay.
there are some firms who have got an extension of that deadline.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
So the governing of the practicing of the profession varies from country to country,
Okay.
depending on the rules of the national body.
I see.
Yeah, because now in Cambodia you have the Kampuchea Institute of Certified Public Accountants
Yes.
and Auditors.
Yes.
Their rules and regulations and requirements will be different from the Vietnam CPA,
Okay.
or from the Thai CPA, or from the Malaysian Institute of Accountants.
Yes.
So the governing of the profession is regulated by the national body of each country.
It's like legal profession. It's
Yeah.
regulated by the bar association.
Correct.
You know. Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned I as a lawyer, I find that yes, it's very difficult for me to go to Malaysia or Singapore to practice law and vice versa, because each country have very different law, right?
Yeah.
And different culture and everything that require more understanding of the local law, the natural law. But I'm sorry to say, but you're in a field where mostly is number.
Yeah.
So how different is it, the number?
It is very different because
right?
yeah, the problem is within ASEAN.
Yes.
I mean, out of the 10 countries, like you have Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, which are much more developed countries, which actually they don't recognize the accountancy qualification of countries like Cambodia,
Yes.
Vietnam, Laos and Myanmar.
Okay.
So currently what's happening is that you have the ASEAN Federation of Accountants,
Yes.
and they have formed a special committee to look into the framework, to develop a framework with the intention of having the mutual recognition arrangement for the accountancy profession. Because currently there is a framework
Yes.
already signed for certain professions,
Yes.
like engineering, architecture, nursing, for example, where people can
Architect also.
yeah, I mean, people can, like a Cambodian architect or a Cambodian nurse can easily go and work in Singapore,
Yes.
Philippines, or vice versa.
Yes.
But for the accountancy profession, it has not yet been
Not
developed.
yet, right?
The framework is not yet
The
developed.
framework is not
Yeah.
yet developed. You mean the mutual recognition arrangement, MIA, right?
Correct, MRA.
I see. And do you see in the near future, in the context of the ASEAN economic community?
I really hope that the MRA for the accountancy profession will be developed before 2015.
Okay.
I mean, they have been working on it, but it has not yet been reached.
I see.
So,
I see.
and also Cambodia will be launching their national CPA program.
Yes.
I mean, they were supposed to launch it in 2014, but
Yes.
the date has not yet been fixed.
Okay.
So, from an ACCA point of view, due to our close working relationship and collaboration with the National Accountancy Council,
Yes.
which is headed by His Excellency Nitai,
Yes.
and also the Kampuchea Institute of Certified Public Accountants and Auditors, which is headed by Mr. Koi Kim Leng.
Okay.
So ACCA is working with these two bodies.
Yes.
I mean, when my global chief executive was here on the 14th
Yes.
and 15th, we signed the extension of what's called the Joint Examination Scheme.
Yes.
And also we signed a new Memorandum of Understanding.
Yes.
And when she was here, she made the commitment to NAC and to KICPA,
Yeah.
saying that ACCA will support in capacity building by taking, let's say, two or three people who are involved in the national CPA within Cambodia, take them to our head office
Yes.
in the UK
Yes.
for about a week or two, and I mean, guide them, teach them on how to set the exams, how to do the marking, how to keep the qualification rigid,
Yes.
and how national CPA should be run, so that they can see practically how it's been done by ACCA.
Yes.
And then they can learn from that and come and implement it.